There's a sealed envelope in here, old friend. Is it yours?
No, it's that bloody idiot Profaci again, I wouldn't mind betting. He keeps filing evidence in my tech room. You know when Hurricane Sandy caused all that damage and the NYPD had to announce that thousands of barrels of evidence had been destroyed?
Of course, old friend. It was all over CNN.
Yeah, well, a few hundred barrels were destroyed. The rest had just been misplaced by Sergeant Scapegoat.
Wait, if this is evidence, could it be the evidence we're looking for?
I don't know, mate. Shall I hold on to it?
Better had, old chum. We need to see if this contains Stan's suspicious substance. This envelope contains misfiled evidence. We're just not sure what it's evidence of at the moment.
A monumentally poor judgment call on your part would be my guess.
Just open it. You know how I hate suspense.
It's not often I open an envelope hoping it's a timeshare brochure, but this might just be the exception.
What have you got in there?
A letter from the liquor licensing board and a plastic bag containing something which is unlikely to be scouring powder.
Well, we've achieved our goal at least.
If by achieved our goal you mean sold our souls to the highest bidder, I'm inclined to agree.
I'm starting to feel a little uneasy, old friend. I'm not sure if it's the morally suspect conduct or the 7-pound, 12-egg breakfast burrito I had for lunch.
Well, if it's the latter, just keep your exhaust pointing away from me.
Can I get you anything, boys?
Not for us, kindly liquor huckster. We're working.
If pushing people around and making ourselves feel important can ever really count as work.
We managed to intercept your evidence before it was processed.
Oh man, you guys have no idea what a relief this is. If the NYPD had gotten a hold of this, it would have been curtains for me.
Just in future, be more careful with your recreational substances.
Oh, this isn't for personal use. That's why I was so worried. If the NYPD had received this, they would have figured me out and put an end to my import-export business once and for all.
Are you telling us that you're a dealer?
Well, of course. Do I look like someone who would be using this stuff personally? You didn't think I could possibly make a living from a bar that's half empty all day, did you? The demand for this stuff is so high, and it's so hard to get to the distributors, that there are huge profits to be made.
Our campaign of justice just hit a new low, mate. We are so going to hell.
I must admit that this does seem a little more extensive than I had originally intended, suspicious sidekick.
But boys, think of all those happy children you helped.
Children? Sweet baby, Jesus, what have we done?
Thanks to you, tens of thousands of Chinese babies will be drinking safe formula milk, imported from the Netherlands. The quality and safety monitoring in Europe makes their formula incredibly desirable for Chinese parents who can afford it.
I can't help thinking we pulled our asses out of the fire by the skin of our teeth on this one, old friend.
What a charming and anatomically incorrect metaphor that is. True though.
Right, we retrieved your Dutch bottle candy. Now we need some bank schematics.
Anything for my favorite customers.
We're your only bloody customers. This place is always empty.
It's true, things have been really slow for weeks. Many of our regulars are boycotting the place because we banned Magma Maiden after an unexpected visit from the fire inspector. Nevertheless, you boys really helped me out with that formula. What bank do you need help with?
There's a siege at Wilson Chase Bank. If we can get the schematics, we think the officer in charge will let us take over the rescue operation.
Oh, that should be no problem. I have schematics for almost every bank in the city. They're surprisingly popular targets for supervillains.
No shit. You'd think that people who could warp reality, control time, and manipulate their own molecules would find a more ambitious goal than knocking off a few banks.
Here you go, boys. This SD card has a full set of schematics for Wilson Chase on it. It should give you a real advantage over the lowlifes who've taken control of it.
Many thanks, magnanimous moonshine merchant. Thanks for the information. I've had a great idea. If I throw this telescope through the window, I might knock one of the perps out cold.
Or you could look through it and spot the security manager's badge with his ID on it.
I guess.
What's wrong?
I got quite excited at the prospect of throwing it at someone.
Okay, if you look through it now, you can throw it at someone later.
Deal! Write this down, old chum. KV 31 17 12.
This is the employee ID number, right? You haven't just decided to order some Chinese takeaway.
I am a law enforcement professional, faithful sidekick. I know when I have to keep my mind on the job. Do you think pancakes go better with bacon or bananas? My trusty sidekick has some useful intel for you, Lieutenant. Schematics of the bank and live feeds from the internal cameras.
Did you hack into the bank's computers?
This isn't about me or how many laws I broke. The important thing here is we now have an advantage. Just think how useful we could be if you let us into the bank.
Have you completely lost your senses?
I'm hanging around the Purple Patriot, what does that tell you?
I could lose my job if I let you in.
That's coward's talk. I thought you were a fellow champion. Champions don't fear failure. They grab life by the balls and demand success. If we succeed in there, you'll get promotion.
Plus, if we fail, we'll most likely be dead, so you can deny everything.
I know I'm going to regret this. All right, I'm going to buy a donut. If you happened to enter the bank while I was gone, I couldn't possibly be blamed.
Ooh, if you're going for donuts, I'll come with.
Forget about bloody donuts and get in here.
Oh, right. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Dude, don't you think the perp might notice if you start chatting to the security manager right in front of him?
The perp is clearly wearing an over-the-ear headset which blocks out all noise from the room. All he can hear is what's coming through the headset.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, mate. I guess I was a bit unfair on you there.
It's always the same with you, Melvin. You never credit me with any intelligence. You'd think I was some kind of dumbass to hear you go on. Like I'm going to go and blow the whole operation by doing something stupid.
For the life of me, I can't imagine what ever gave me that idea.
That's all right, old friend. We all make mistakes. You're the security manager, right? I'm here to help you. Tell me what's going on. This is no time to come over all shy, buddy. I need to know what's going on here.
You know how you can speak because the bad man with the gun is facing away from you?
We've been through this once, Melvin. I am well aware that I can speak without alerting the perpetrator to our presence.
Yeah, well he can't. If the aforementioned bad man with the gun sees the hostage kneeling in front of him start talking, it just might give him a clue that someone is standing behind him.
Right. I knew that. How many perps are there in total? Do you know?
I'm going to explain this one last time for the terminally slow of thought. The security manager cannot reply to you without giving away your presence and getting us both killed. Fortunately, he seems to have enough sense not to do that.
He doesn't have to speak, Melvin. He could simply indicate the answer by holding up the correct number of fingers.
And what is the bad man with the gun gonna think if his hostage starts waving around making hand gestures? That his bored hostage wants to play a few rounds of charades with his captor?
No need to be snarky.
I think you know me well enough by now to know that need is not the issue.
Pretend to have a heart attack.
What's that going to achieve?
Maybe the perp will see him having a heart attack and have one himself.
We're talking about a heart attack, not a bloody yawn.
All right, I admit it. I don't know what'll happen. My instincts tell me that it's the kind of dramatic event which is bound to create panic and give us some kind of tactical advantage. Okay?
Fine. Any more tactical advantages on that scale and this is going to get too easy.
The old coot is so decrepit, the perp probably thought he was already dead. Ask him for a drink of water.
Yeah, because walking all the way over to the water cooler is going to tire him out so badly, you'll be able to overpower him.
Instead of just taking potshots and being a smartass, why don't you come up with a better suggestion?
In a crisis, I believe everyone should do what they do best. Is it my fault that being a smartass is my most marketable skill?